Taurus. July 2026 is a month that gradually reshapes your vision of the future while helping you build a stronger foundation for the life you want to create. Communication, learning, travel, paperwork, contracts, and your immediate environment take center stage during the first part of the month. As July unfolds, your focus increasingly shifts toward home, family, your living situation, and the deeper question of what truly makes you feel secure and grounded. This is a time when your willingness to stay open to new information can make a significant difference. New conversations, fresh perspectives, educational opportunities, and unexpected connections may open doors that were previously hidden from view. At the same time, an important process is underway beneath the surface. You're beginning to think more seriously about where you want to live, what kind of future you want to build, and what you need in order to feel genuinely supported by your circumstances. Several slow-moving planets change direction this month, which means that progress may not always feel straightforward. Some matters will slow down. Certain situations may return from the past. Questions that seem unresolved now may not fully reveal their answers until later in July. The first half of the month helps you organize current responsibilities, conversations, plans, paperwork, and learning opportunities. The second half gradually redirects your attention toward family matters, real estate, emotional security, and creating a more stable platform for long-term growth. This is not a month to rush outcomes. Many important developments will unfold step by step, and that steady approach is exactly what allows you to recognize the most promising path forward. July 2. July begins with situations that encourage you to take a closer look at your professional ambitions and long-term expectations. Venus forms an aspect to Black Moon Lilith, while Mars interacts with the lunar nodes. For Taurus, old patterns connected to career goals, status, authority figures, leadership dynamics, or professional aspirations may resurface. At the same time, certain conversations, work opportunities, introductions, or decisions could have a much greater impact on your future than they initially appear to. Pay attention to repeating themes and to people who unexpectedly re-enter your life. The universe may be drawing your attention towards something that deserves a second look. July 4th. Only a few days later, events begin moving much faster. Mars forms a conjunction with Uranus. For you, this powerful transit activates the 11th house of friendships, communities, social networks, audiences, professional circles, and long-term goals. Unexpected introductions, surprising news from friends, or opportunities through groups and communities may suddenly shift your perspective on the future. New plans can emerge almost overnight. At the same time, try to avoid impulsive decisions or unnecessary conflicts. Excitement is high, but thoughtful action will serve you better than reacting too quickly. July 5th. Following the surprises of previous days, you now have an opportunity to channel this energy in a productive direction. Mars forms a harmonious aspect to Pluto. This transit supports professional advancement, strategic planning, and meaningful progress toward long-term goals. You may find yourself in a stronger position to move important projects forward, strengthen your professional reputation, or gain clarity about future opportunities. This is an excellent day for negotiations, career decisions, business planning, leadership initiatives, and practical steps toward larger ambitions. But before moving ahead, life asks an important question: how strong is the foundation beneath your plans? July 6. The Sun forms a challenging aspect to Saturn. You may feel increased responsibility surrounding communication, paperwork, education, contracts, applications, or administrative matters. Certain obligations require greater discipline and closer attention to detail. This is a productive day for organizing unfinished tasks and creating more structure in your daily processes. Against this backdrop, a deeper period of reflection is beginning. July 7. Neptune begins its retrograde journey. For Taurus, this initiates a period of reevaluating professional goals, future aspirations, and long-term expectations. Over the coming months, it becomes easier to distinguish between dreams that have genuine potential and goals that may need adjustment. This retrograde encourages a more honest understanding of what success truly means to you and where you genuinely want your future to lead. July 9th. The focus now shifts toward a more enjoyable and inspiring area of life. Venus enters Virgo, activating your 5th house. The 5th house governs romance, creativity, joy, self-expression, hobbies, children, and the activities that make life feel meaningful and enjoyable. You may feel a stronger desire to spend time doing what you love, reconnect with your passions, and bring more balance into your personal life. Venus in Virgo also encourages you to create healthier patterns in romantic relationships and to be more intentional about the things that bring you happiness. July 11th. Venus aligns with the South Node. Past situations may reappear. Old feelings, former romantic connections, creative projects, or unfinished emotional stories could return for review. In some cases, this aspect marks the completion of a romantic chapter, In others, it brings a reassessment of what once brought joy and fulfillment. Whatever surfaces now is helping you understand what still belongs in your future and what may be ready to be released. July 13th. By the middle of the month, more answers begin to emerge. The Sun aligns with retrograde Mercury in Cancer. Important news may arrive regarding paperwork, contracts, negotiations, travel plans, educational opportunities, applications, or conversations that have been ongoing for some time. This conjunction marks the midpoint of Mercury retrograde, making it one of the most revealing moments of the cycle. Information that was previously unclear may suddenly make much more sense. At the same time, Venus forms a harmonious aspect to Uranus. This creates the potential for an unexpected introduction, exciting romantic development, pleasant surprise, or inspiring event that brings fresh energy into your personal life. Sometimes the most meaningful opportunities arrive when you least expect them. July 14th. A new moon in Cancer opens an important new chapter in your third house. This lunation highlights communication, learning, travel, networking, writing, teaching, contracts, and the exchange of information. Ideas that have been developing quietly during the first half of the month now begin to gain momentum and practical direction. Over the coming months, many Taurus natives may begin a new educational program, launch a course, start an important project, enter significant negotiations, or plan meaningful travel. This new moon creates a sense that life is beginning to move forward again. Momentum gradually returns. July 18th, Uranus forms a significant aspect to Pluto. This is one of the most important transits of July. It helps reveal which goals truly have the power to transform your future. For Taurus, professional ambitions, career direction, and long-term plans may undergo meaningful shifts. Some ideas that seemed exciting only weeks ago may begin losing their appeal. At the same time, new opportunities and future directions emerge that feel far more aligned with where your life is heading. This is a period of profound internal restructuring. Priorities are changing, your vision of success is evolving, and that evolution helps you recognize where your energy is best invested moving forward. Once that clarity arrives, the next step becomes obvious: turning vision into action. July 19th, Mars forms an aspect to Saturn. This transit asks you to combine initiative with discipline. Today reveals how realistic and sustainable your plans truly are. Matters involving friendships, communities, team projects, professional growth, and long-term objectives become especially important. If an idea genuinely has long-term potential, you'll begin seeing practical ways to bring it into reality. This is an excellent day for focused work, strategic planning, responsibility, commitment, and steady progress. Patience becomes one of your greatest strengths. July 20th. Jupiter forms a challenging aspect to Pluto while simultaneously creating a harmonious aspect to Neptune. For Taurus, this activates themes involving finances, communication, education, family matters, and future possibilities. You may feel inspired to expand your opportunities, improve your financial situation, invest in personal growth, or create a more comfortable and secure lifestyle. At the same time, Pluto reminds you that expansion requires wisdom. Avoid unrealistic expectations and carefully evaluate what is genuinely achievable. This transit offers tremendous potential, but it rewards maturity, strategy, and thoughtful decision-making. The opportunities are real. The question is how effectively you choose to work with them. July 22. After several weeks focused on communication and practical responsibilities, your attention gradually turns inward. The Sun enters Leo and activates your fourth house. Home, family, real estate, living arrangements, emotional foundations, and personal security move into the spotlight. You may feel a stronger desire to create stability, strengthen family relationships, improve your environment, or build a life that feels more supportive and nourishing. The focus shifts toward creating a foundation that can support your future growth. And almost immediately after this transition, greater clarity begins to emerge. July 23rd, Mercury stations direct. Matters that have been unfolding since late June finally begin moving forward. Questions involving paperwork, agreements, contracts, education, travel plans, and important conversations start becoming clearer. If something has felt uncertain or delayed in recent weeks, progress now becomes easier. Information arrives, decisions become simpler. The path ahead begins to reveal itself. With greater understanding comes one of the most important turning points of the month. July 27. The final week of July brings one of the most significant turning points of the month. The Sun forms an opposition to Pluto while simultaneously creating a harmonious aspect to Neptune. For Taurus, this transit can shift your perspective on home, family, career goals, and overall life priorities. Conversations that take place now may reveal information you hadn't considered before. Situations that once seemed straightforward can suddenly appear very different when viewed from a broader perspective. Sometimes transits like this help us recognize what truly matters. Just as importantly, they reveal what may have outlived its purpose and no longer deserves our energy or attention. You may find yourself reevaluating where you're investing your time, what kind of future you're building, and whether your current priorities still reflect the person you're becoming. On the same day, Saturn begins its retrograde journey in Aries. For Taurus, this initiates an important period of reviewing hidden patterns, unconscious limitations, inner fears, and long-term strategies that have been operating behind the scenes. Over the coming months, Saturn retrograde will help you identify what has been quietly holding you back. Old beliefs, self-imposed restrictions, unresolved emotional patterns, or outdated coping mechanisms may become more visible. This process is not about criticism, it's about gaining awareness. The more honestly you examine these deeper layers, the easier it becomes to move forward with greater confidence and clarity. By the end of the month, many of the themes that have been developing throughout July begin reaching a meaningful culmination. July 29, a full moon in Aquarius illuminates your 10th house of career, reputation, achievement, public image, and professional success. This full moon shines a bright light on the results of the efforts you've been making over the past several months. Professional projects may begin showing tangible results, recognition may arrive. Important developments involving work, leadership, authority figures, promotions, business goals, or your overall reputation could become especially noticeable. For some Taurus natives, this full moon brings a moment of accomplishment. For others, it offers valuable clarity about where professional adjustments may still be needed. Either way, it reveals the truth of where things currently stand. And on this same powerful day, another major event takes place. The Sun forms a conjunction with Jupiter. This is one of the most positive and expansive aspects of the entire month. It also offers an early glimpse of the opportunities that Jupiter in Leo will continue developing over the year ahead. For you, this conjunction highlights family matters, home, real estate, emotional security, and the foundations upon which your future will be built. You may experience a renewed sense of confidence, inspiration, optimism, and excitement about what lies ahead. There is a growing desire to create something meaningful, lasting, and deeply supportive for yourself and the people you care about. By the end of July, many events that seemed disconnected earlier in the month begin fitting together into a much larger picture. What once felt uncertain becomes easier to understand. What once seemed delayed begins making sense. And what once appeared complicated starts revealing its purpose. Taurus, July becomes a month of strengthening your foundation while preparing for new opportunities that are beginning to emerge. The first half of the month helps you organize communication, education, paperwork, travel plans, conversations, and the practical details of everyday life. The second half gradually shifts your attention toward home, family, emotional security, and the long-term decisions that will shape your future. This month reminds you of something important. Before building something significant, you must first understand what you truly want that future to stand upon. The stronger the foundation you create now, the easier it will be to embrace the opportunities that are already beginning to open before you. Have a wonderful July, dear Taurus.